The purpose of this video is to review stock moves in Odoo's version 12. Now, stock moves are, in my opinion, one of the most underestimated functionalities that Odoo offers out of the box. What a stock move is, essentially, let's actually navigate here to the record. Make sure you're in debug to access it. You can add it to any one of these views as well if you don't want to go to debug to access it, just a heads up. So a stock move is essentially a record which gets generated whenever stock is being called to move in Odoo. So if any scenario you can think of where that might be true, you should expect stock moves to be created to facilitate that process. Now, a sale order. When a sale order is confirmed and the product on the sale order line is storable, it will generate a stock move to execute the movement of that storable product from your inventory to the end location of the customer. The inverse is true for purchasing. When you create a purchase order, confirm it, it will generate a stock move to receive those goods from the vendor to your stock location. Manufacturing order, as you see here, whenever you confirm a manufacturing order, it will generate a stock move, or usually multiple stock moves, for the raw materials to come from production to stock and for the finished good to go from stock to production for the goods, and then from production to stock for the finished product. Now, you'll see here the date field. This shows you the date, time, down to the second when the move was created. The reference field is important because this is going to allow you to differentiate moves that are stemming from a warehouse delivery, or from a warehouse receipt, or from a manufacturing order, or from an internal transfer, or from an inventory adjustment. So yes, all the moves are being tracked here, which may seem redundant to some extent, but it's good because we can always use our filter tool up here to easily differentiate. For example, show me all stock that's incoming, or show me all stock that's outgoing. And this will show you that stock is moving in or it's moving out. And you can always go levels deeper by saying, I'm going to filter, and I want to filter the reference down to just contains MO. That'll show me everything here will contain manufacturing order. Now, what I can do additionally is I can always filter the status. So I want to see of manufacturing, what's ready or to do. And what this means is these are either ready, meaning it's not yet complete or not yet done, or it's to do, which usually means that it's not yet reserved. And you'll see when I have ready and to do, it'll isolate this view for you. So when I look at the quantity reserved is going to talk about of what's in demand, how much is reserved. And you'll see for all the items which we have that have a demand and which have a quantity reserved which meets that in demand, you will see their status over here means it's available. So anytime, like in a manufacturing order, for instance, if you have an MO and that manufacturing order has raw materials, of course, and you reserve those raw materials on that manufacturing order, they will adjust to show, the stock move would adjust to show it's available. Anything waiting availability, you will see that there's actually a discrepancy here in terms of what is in demand versus what is reserved. And then, of course, you have what's called the forecasted quantity here. Forecasted quantity is going to be the amount that you actually have available in your stock. And then the remaining to reserve is going to show you what you actually have left to reserve. To give you a better idea, let's actually walk through an example. So if I go and create an order, we're going to create a new product here on the fly. This product is going to be called, we're going to sell it to Azure. This product is going to be called the Test 123. And you'll see I'm going to mark it as a storable product. I'm going to sell it, just for an example, of $10. Tell me I don't have anything in stock, which is perfectly normal. Now, when I actually confirm this sale, it generates the stock move. And you'll see when I go to look at the stock move here, and I filter product test 123, you will see we have a stock move. 0 have been reserved, 1 is in demand. The forecasted quantity, meaning the amount we have available to use to fulfill, whether it's a delivery order or a manufacturing order, is 0, and the remaining amount to reserve is 1. And obviously the remaining amount to reserve is just going to measure what we're supposed to reserve versus what we've actually reserved. Now let's go and buy, and I should actually go back here to the stock move. You'll see that this is, it's not ready, it's to do. The date, we can always look at what happened, the last 7 days, so on and so forth. And you'll see the status is waiting availability. Now, when I go and I actually purchase this product, we'll buy this from vendor X. Oops. Nope. Oh, we're going to buy test 1, 2, 3. We're just going to buy 1 unit. Just like that. Confirm. That generates another stock move. So now you'll see when I go back to my stock move here and I look at test 1, 2, 3 as the product, we have 2 stock moves. 1 stock move is for the in, 1 is for the out. I can always differentiate what's incoming and what's outgoing with these filters here. And now you will see when I go to the inventory and I go to, well, all I really have to do is actually just run my scheduler, and Odoo will automatically allocate that stock to that delivery order. And the minute it allocates that stock to that delivery order, you will see, pull up test 1, 2, 3. You will see here actually it wouldn't do it in this example. Sorry about that. I'm going to actually have to go in and reserve it. It will be ready. Nope, that's actually the wrong one. Still in the waiting folder. It's for Azure, test 1, 2, 3. You'll see reserved is 0. When I check availability and reserve that stock, I know why. Man, I'm off today. I apologize for that. We actually first need to receive this, so the system is clearly working as intended. And then if I run my scheduler, and if I go to my stock move, and I search test 1, 2, 3, my product now shows the amount to reserve is 1, and if I look at my outgoing, of course, amount remaining to reserve is 0. Forecasted quantity or amount that I have in the future to sell is now 0, and the reason why is because 1 unit is reserved for this product. And of course, if I go and I execute this, it'll be marked as done, and it would fall off my list if I had the right filters configured. So that's the basics of stock moves. Now let's talk a little bit more about some pre-configured filters I have here. One would be demand. Demand is just a simple list. It shows me all of the products which I have in demand. And it's probably going to make sense to view demand through a view like this. So here I can simply filter out all my products and the demand, and I can look here at the expected date, which is equal to the scheduled date, and I can see all my demand down here. For the month of May, I can see my test product down there. I have 1 unit, AB, component A and B. I can see I have a certain demand for it all the way up the ladder. So this is just a pre-configured filter where I filtered out, you can go in and play with these filters if you want to understand how they work, but this is just going to show you, you can also get into time ranges and all that, but it'll show you just a simple demand. Now, if I want to go back to my list, I can also look at demands from sale orders. Demand from sale orders are just going to manage all my warehouse out, or it's actually going to manage where the source document is equal to an SO. And then it's going to manage what's currently waiting, what's ready, and what's, I think this will just do what's waiting and what's ready. And I can always group by product. And I can look at a scheduled date by month. Or better yet, let's do scheduled date, then product. And I can see my demand across all products for the month of May. So, and I can always drill down and see obviously a list of those products. If I want to drag the source document in here, I certainly could do that as well by using Odoo Studio, and you will see that there's a source document field, and I can pull that right into here, and it'll show me all the different sale orders that this demand comes from. And I can then always search by my source or group by my source document to group by sale orders, which I need to refilter that out, but you get the idea. The next is on order. This is going to show me what is currently on order, meaning what do we need or what are we supposed to be purchasing and what's the status of it. Here I can see if anything's been reserved, meaning did we bring this into stock yet? know it's available to be brought in, but we didn't actually execute the demand and bring it into stock. Here you'll see what's waiting availability, meaning it's on order, but we haven't received it yet. And this is, of course, from the manufacturing department. If you drill into any of these here, then you would see that they would stem from a warehouse in receipt. Now, you'll also be able to look into what's reserved for production. Here it's going to show me all my products which are reserved for production by simply showing me, when I drill down into it, the manufacturing orders which they are being reserved for. So that's really a raw material overview. Now the last one is usage, which is just going to show me the usage of my products over time, which I can easily pull in and see the usage of all of these products. And that includes manufacturing orders, delivery orders, inventory, I believe inventory receipts. No, it wouldn't include receipts, excuse me. This is just all going out. So you'll see, obviously, that I'll have a long list and a number of products here, which I can easily export to Excel and manipulate data for, etc. So when people ask about how do I forecast my sales, how do I do so on and so forth, well, you can look at usage historically. You can also do a comparison to like a previous year, which there is no data for the previous year. If I do compare to previous period on the date over the last year, it will show me any variation that we have here. In Odoo right now, you can only do based on 1 year. We are in the process of putting together functionality that will allow you to run comparisons out over 5 years. So by looking at the variation over 5 years and taking an average, you may be able to predict close to what year 6, 7, 8, 9 would look like with that historical data. Obviously not taking into consideration seasonal things, so on and so forth. So, Odoo is going to really aggregate all this information for you in the stock moves view, and then you can take that, manipulate that information, plug it into, as I mentioned, take out those averages of variation, and then you can also apply those to gain insight into what you should expect to produce based on the change over time. Use those values, plug those into your master production schedule, and then obviously use the MPS to automate manufacturing orders, automate purchase orders, so on and so forth. So there's obviously a little bit of manual work there, but the main point, the main value is that all the information that you need to make those decisions is sitting here in Odoo for you. Obviously, you can get into the custom development to automate a lot of that activity, but that's an entirely different conversation. So that's a 101 on stock moves. I just recommend you dig in and you test it out and you begin to manipulate the information in order to gain insight into the activity or views that you want to. If you need any help in doing that, feel free to reach out to me at any time. Be happy to drill into that with you. Thanks so much.